Hi everyone, welcome to a new episode of Straight Talk with your host Firas Al Masadi. Today, I'm going to be sharing with you some great news related to property mortgages in Dubai. If you're waiting for financial crisis so you can get the best prices in the market, I got news for you. We're already in financial crisis. The wisest step to do is to invest only in what you can understand, because you can control only what you can understand. That's why I call it Straight Talk with Firas Al Masadi. As I demonstrate how buyers can pay 30% lesser down payment for the same property as compared to last year. In addition to that, we are possibly at an all-time low property price in Dubai, not to mention at an all-time low interest rates in Dubai. So let me quantify this to you in numbers. So I'm demonstrating two scenarios here, and as an assumption, I'm looking at a property price of 1.5 million. I'm going to be focusing on two main aspects: how much down payment you need to pay today as compared to last year, and how much is your interest rate today as compared to last year. So with a maximum of 25 years loan term, last year you had to pay 3.44% with 1 year fixed interest rate. Today you have to pay only 2.70% with 1 year fixed interest rate. Last year you had to pay 3.58% with 3 years fixed interest rate. Today you have to pay for the same 3 years fixed interest rate 2.99%. Last year you had to pay 4.44% for 5 years fixed interest rate. Today you have to pay only 3.45%. So this is in relation to interest rate. Let's look at your down payment this year as compared to last year for a property, as I mentioned, of 1.5 million. So last year banks would give you a maximum loan to value of 75%, which means you have to come up with a down payment of 375,000 dirhams. This year you have to come up only with 300,000 dirhams, which is 20%. All in all, if you look at how much you have to pay when you add up all the costs, the land department transfer fees, the bank fees, the loan fees, the interest rate, everything all in all, you would see that last year you'd have to pay for the same property 494,000 dirhams, almost 500,000 dirham. This year for the same property you have to pay only 336,000 dirhams, which means it's almost 30% lesser. Now of course, having an all-time low interest rate and an all-time high LTV, loan to value, as banks are giving you up to 80% or even 85% in some cases, it's all great news. But what's even greater than that is that we are really possibly at an all-time low property prices in Dubai. And I'm gonna quantify to you your possible ROE, which is your return on equity, if you buy a property today, looking at 4 to 5 years exit plan. So just for simplicity's sake, of course, these numbers can be worked out in a very sophisticated way, looking at the net present value and your cash flow. But just to keep it very simple, if your down payment is 330,000 dirhams and you're paying around 5,000 dirhams per month worth of installments, in 5 years, your total equity, your total capital invested is around 650,000 dirhams. So let's assume that property prices would appreciate just 5% a year. Yeah, I mean, we've witnessed in the past years in Dubai property market appreciating 20% per year and 15%. Let's look at an average of 5% per year. 5% per year, that would give you over 5 years 25% on the 1.5 million dirhams. That is 375,000 dirhams. 375,000 dirhams. If you look at the 375,000 dirhams, as compared to your equity of 650,000 dirhams, that's almost 50%. So that's giving you around 10% returns per year on your equity. Not to mention that if you're renting the property, you'll be probably getting around 4 to 5% net every year. In addition to that, if you're living in the property, of course, you'll be saving the rent that you're paying today if you are a tenant today. Let's forget about all these assumptions, because it's all assumptions at the end of the day. What you need to understand is that today's market is full of uncertainties when it comes to the future of the global financial system. What's going to happen to the paper currency? What's going to happen to the stock market? No one knows. So the safest investment you can get in is investments in tangible assets. And real estate is a tangible asset that can get your money to work for you. It's easy to understand real estate. You should invest only in what you understand and what you can control. Of course, it can be rented, it can generate passive income, you can live in, you can quarantine in. I hope that we don't have to quarantine anymore, but I think I really truly found the true value of my house during the quarantine. Guys, I think to recap, you're looking at all-time low prices in Dubai. You're looking at all-time high loan-to-value by the Central Bank of Dubai, which shows a lot of confidence in the central bank when it comes to the property value in Dubai. And of course, probably all-time low interest rate. So grab this opportunity. I think many buyers who could not afford to buy a property last year in Dubai, they can easily afford to buy today because of the lower down payment. And my advice to you, look at the most prime areas in Dubai based on your budget, because the potential capital appreciation is indeed immense. Nothing goes down and doesn't come back up again. I hope that you find this episode beneficial. Feel free to circulate it to your friends and your connections. Subscribe and stay tuned for many more to come. Before I go, a quick thank you note to Richard, which is a mortgage broker who provided me with most of the numbers that I just shared with you now. If you have any questions, please drop me your questions either in an email to ceo@fanproperties.com. I'll personally reply and look at your questions. Even if you have an offer that you're working on and you want a second opinion, feel free to drop me that on an email, or drop me a comment in the comment section. I'll make sure that I address all your comments and questions. Thank you very much for tuning in. Stay tuned for many more to come. Thank you.